What's up, people? We're just sitting here on the reading chair in the most echoey room of the house. I got Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, the limited edition for the Nintendo Switch in the mail. And I want to unbox the game for you, show you a bit of gameplay, and then I want to give you my opinion on it after 2 days of playing it. So let's take a sip of Royal Pu'er from 2018. Let's shoot up on caffeine and film that unboxing. See you in the other room. And I think to myself, what a wonderful life. Well, how many reviews have done that joke? Well, here it is, the limited edition for Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. For the Nintendo Switch, there's also a PS4 version and an Xbox One, Series X version. We are unboxing the Switch version because why would you need any other versions? Do you see this? I still have my 3DS here. I'm way into playing Nintendogs plus cats right now. Like, don't even ask. Maybe I'll do a video about this. This is the limited edition, which comes with a few extras. Comes at 50 euros, which means 10 euros more than the normal edition. It's a budget game for some reason. They're releasing it for 40 euros, the standalone version. And then you have this one for, as I said, 10 euros more. There was a pre-order bonus, which came with, I don't know, goat, I think. I don't have that. I think that was exclusive to the Marvelous online store, and we don't have that in Germany. So we got this one. We have a nice range of characters, all the bachelors and bachelorettes in the game. This is a mix of the original game and the special edition version and the Another Wonderful Life version, so the girl version, all mixed into one, well, big pot as you see here, and, well, created in a new remake, new, well, coat of paint if you want. This is the limited edition, nice, the dimensions should be familiar with people who have the other ones. Here we have Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town, same dimensions. And here is the Rune Factory 5 limited edition. They all have different names, limited, deluxe edition, and then Rune Factory 4, which I'm still missing, the archival edition. If you have the European version of the Rune Factory 4 archival version, I say this in every video, please contact me. I want to buy it. It was exclusive to the Marvelous online store, and I don't have it, and I want it for the collection. So leave me a message. I'm willing to pay for it. And if nobody contacts me, like, I'm fine with the American version too, but I would prefer the European archival version. So this is the, I don't know, what is it now, 5th, 6th game in the series on the system. We started, of course, with the Friends of Mineral Town remake. After that, I don't know which came first, Story of Seasons, Doraemon, or Pioneers of Olive Town. One of the two. I think this came out like half a year after Prince of Mineral Town. So we have this one, which is a spin-off. There's a sequel to this, which does not have a physical release, at least not over here. Maybe I can import like a Japanese version or something. But over here, it is exclusive to the online eShop. And of course, we have Rune Factory 4. Rune Factory, of course, being a spin-off of the Story of Seasons series. And of course, we have the part 5 over here as well. Part 6 is on its way as well. So it may release in, well, if Rune Factory 4 is anything to go by, like within the next 10 years or so. So they always take a long time. Like, they pump out Story of Seasons games like what feels like every 5 weeks. Rune Factory, even though we are getting a lot of re-releases, the main parts, I think Rune Factory 5 was released in 2013 or so, after Oceans came out. A lot of talk, a lot of nonsense to be talked about. Let's look at the unboxing. Let me open this up. I need to see, open it on this side. Like, one side is a lot denser and the other one is more or less empty. So let's look inside. There you have it. Yeah, typical. Basically, the contents are more or less the same as Pioneers of Olive Town, except for the character cards. There are no character cards in this one. And now the box is empty. Let's take a look at the game first. You get the case, like this is just the standard version. Game card in there. You have a nice interior cover, looks beautiful. I like it a lot. And you got the game, which comes on a, 8 GB card. So not a 16 GB one. I'm always surprised like how small they can get these Switch games. just to save a buck on the physical cartridge. Let's look at this. This is, well, in here we have the sticker sheet, which is quite nice. I really like, I said this in the Pioneers of Olive Town unboxing that I did last week. I like the character designs of these. So on paper, in 2D, hand-drawn, they all look nice. In my opinion, they don't always translate well to the 3D realm. So over here you have all the animals. You even have the little turtle with the necklace or with the like bandana around its neck, whatever you want to call it. Nice little puppy. So you have that. I would have preferred as well to have the lizard. He's one of my favorite characters in the game, like the lizard with a broken leg you can find at the waterfall. Here's a poster of, well, the cover, like the standalone cover of the game. Of course, again, it's folded up, so not really my thing. And here we have the poster of the limited edition picture cover. So if you want to hang that on your wall, I would ask Marvelous to send you a non-folded version. I don't know if they do that, like offer that in like an online store or something. I don't like folded up posters. They look ugly. You see they have been folded up and I don't like it. Here we have the notebook, Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. I said it in the Pioneers of Olive Town unboxing. I always was like, why do you give me an empty notebook? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I've since come around. I love these for games like this where you can take notes and you also have a bit of a guide. Of course, A Wonderful Life is not as structured as the other games in this series. Like the festivals are basically non-existent. You only have 10 days per season. There's a definitive end to the game. So here you can just, like, there is no guide. I don't have any, in Pioneers of Olive Town you have the guide, which crops grow in which season. You don't have that in this. That's a bit disappointing. That was a nice and handy guide to have. And I started like, I thought, okay, in 10 years I want to look back. I started writing a bit of a diary of what I'm doing each day in the game. So I'm on day 2. I played yesterday, so I need to do my entry for that one. So I'm doing a bit of a diary. I just thought getting a bit of a notebook. I want to write. Recently I've just cleaned my Lamy Studio again, put on a black nib. Before I thought about for my 30th birthday, which is coming up, I want to ask for a Lamy 2000. I've been wanting a Lamy 2000 for probably 10 years now. And I thought, like, 30th birthday, it's something I can use my whole life long. And I want to get a few, like, rather expensive things you only buy once in your life. And a nice fountain pen, at least for me, who is writing a lot or who enjoys the writing with a fountain pen. That's what I want to do. So that's the unboxing. We have these things, right? The game, no character cards. They cheaped out on us. The coolest thing next to the notebooks in the Pioneers of Olive Town set are missing. But what can you do? So we will now jump over to a bit of gameplay in summer of year 1. I just got engaged, but you will learn about all of that in a few minutes of gameplay. So let's move over to the TV. So I'm having to switch the cartridges. Yes, I'm still doing a Ring Fit every day, trying to work on my physique. So let's see whether I have the controller. Here we go. The game is downloading a patch when you first started. So let's look at the information up here. Like version 1.0 is on the card. Version 1.0.1 is a download. I'm guessing that's part of the DLC, that you can buy the DLC. Right now, I'm not sure at launch. Right now, you can get a free costume as a download. I'm not sure if that's a thing in the near future, but if you have the game already, go to the eShop and download the free, what is its name? Like Muku Muku costume, like the Yeti you find in winter. I'm not in winter yet, but I remember from the original game. Like the Yeti was always a fan favorite. Checking for downloadable content, of course, and here we go with a bit of Wonderful Life. You have a loading screen at the beginning of the game. Otherwise, I must say the loading in the game is not really too bad. So, press any button to start. Here we go. In the options menu, that's always the first thing. Check. Here you can look at the DLC. It brings you to what you have, like the Muku Muku outfit is what you can download for free right now. In the options, I would highly recommend, if you're an old school guy like me, into the gameplay settings, you go and turn the parameter display off, because that is like the energy and health bars you have. You didn't have that in the original games, and I think that's one of the biggest steps back in terms of immersion in the newer games, that you see the hearts you have and all of that. I like to go by the characters' movements and emotions and interactions with the environment, you know, then that like his belly is grumbling or he's saying if he wants to go sleep, things like that. I like to see that. I don't want to see it as a bar on the screen. So I'm turning that off. Time display, you can turn all of that off. So you can turn off basically the entirety or a majority of the game's HUD, and you can go as deep as you want to be. I still have the mini back display on. So that's what the options do. So that's what and if you're a PlayStation person, you're used to having the down button, the B button as the confirmation, you can change that as well. All right, let's go into the game. Let's continue. I think I saved like in the middle of the game somewhere. Oh, okay, 6 p.m. Here we go. And let's get in. You may have seen on my channel, I've been doing a video about the original GameCube version, I think a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where I just went, it felt like coming home, which is something I don't get from this, because I'm not too familiar with the like graphics, the style. This feels a lot more like the newer games, where I feel like I'm playing a menu some of the times. But this game is not as bogged down with like systems, like, okay, leveling up your cow and then getting better milk and then producing, I don't know, yogurt with it or something. This is a lot more like down to earth and a lot more traditional. I'm loving it. This is a fantastic version of the game. It is based on the special edition, the PlayStation 2 version, which was technically inferior to the GameCube version. Let's go to Nami. Let's talk to Nami. Okay, the herbal tea. Yes, the bar has been turned into a cafe, so you no longer get any alcohol in here. You can order things like, let's see what we have, orange soda, lemon soda, herbal tea, blue blend, classic cake, and club sandwich. I mentioned in the GameCube version video that this is more of a life simulation. It's been toned down in this version a little bit, but you still need to eat, you still need to sleep, you still need to like keep your stamina up, or you will drop down dead, and you don't want that. So you will actually have to have a stop at the cafe every now and then to eat a club sandwich or drink an herbal tea to replenish your hunger meter. I don't think I have that problem right now. You see, usually at the top you see the bar with your like stamina. Like I said, I turned that off. You can still go into the menu and look at all of it this way. You see the fullness meter. It's pretty down. I ate a little bit to replenish it, but I need to have a few solid meals. You can also cook in the game. You are not reliant on the cafe, but I like hanging out and chilling with the people living in Forgotten Valley, or Forget-Me-Not Valley, as the old title was. You have Muffy was her name, now it's Molly, and I just proposed to her. I'm engaged to her, so we are getting married and at the end of year 1. As you may know, this game is like, it takes place, if it's like the PS2 version, which I assume it is, over 10 years. Each year is one chapter, and in the end, spoiler alert, your character dies. So you're playing through your main character's whole life. That's why it's called A Wonderful Life. So we are talking to Molly right now. Let's talk to this dude. Gavin is his name. So we can also go, I'd like to check. Good music, good conversation. All right, let's leave. Enough excitement at the cafe. One disappointment is this game runs in 30 FPS, like the PS2 version. But unlike the PS2 version, even on Switch, it's pretty solid. Like the performance, this is no Rune Factory 5. Like the performance is pretty good. Like if I wasn't told this is 30 FPS, I would have thought, well, okay, it plays well, fantastic. So I'm not missing the 60 FPS as much as I thought in the beginning. We have a new addition to this version of the game, the request board, where people can leave requests. It's not like overloaded with requests. Like it's not Pioneers of Olive Town where you're just going through checklist and checklist and checklist. Like I said, sometimes it feels like you're playing a bit of a checklist in these newer titles. This is a lot more wide, open, free, and I enjoy it this way a lot more. I don't like playing through a checklist too much. I like doing it in some games. In my Story of Seasons games, that's not what I want to do. In Rune Factory, I don't have a problem with it too much. In Story of Seasons, like I don't like having the checklists. I like to have a free life, no guidance. Otherwise, the layout of the town is basically identical. You can see a bit of pop-in here. Look at the trees on the left as I walk further. You have a bit of pop-in. It's not too bad. I'm sure the PS5 and Xbox versions are better when it comes to that, but it runs well on the Switch. I'm not sure if I think there's also a PC version. I'm not sure if they run in 60 FPS. I would be pretty disappointed if they don't. So that may be the preferred version, but you know, a game like this, you want to have it portably on the go. A few other changes from the game. There are a lot more events in this game, it feels like. The original was a bit light on events. Yeah, let's give a few flowers to a few people. That looks nice. Oh, I already gave you one. Nami does not like flowers. Let's see if she likes a fossil today. That's awesome. Do you want it? Yeah. Here you go. I am courting all of the bachelorettes. Like, I don't care about the bachelors. Of course, you only have 4 bachelorettes. You have Lumina, which was a new addition to the PS2 special edition. She was not in the GameCube version. Or she was, but she was 12, so you couldn't date her. Now she's 18. The good thing is they updated her character model, so she doesn't look like 12 anymore in this version. Yeah, and you have all the bachelors. There's same-sex marriage. You can court everyone you want. I don't care about the guys. But of course, the best girl, Flora, I think is her name here. Flora is not dateable. Unlike the DS version, Harvest Moon DS is kind of a demake, like improved gameplay-wise, but like made as a DS version of this game. So Flora, she's best girl, and she's not dateable in this version. Like, I want to date you, girl, go out with me. Don't hang out with this Carter dude. Why are you sleeping in one tent? What are you doing? Alright. You have fun in your little tent with your 2 little beds so close to each other in the hot summer of Forget-Me-Not Valley, or Forgotten Valley. So we are here, it's getting dark. Dark. At one point the game will just flip over. I'm not sure, I've never like worked my way through the whole night. I would have to see if it cuts off at one point, but I think I played until like 2 or something in the morning and I could keep playing. I need to try that out. Here we have Gustafa. Let's see if he is already home. Oh, alright. He's hard to find in his hut because he's always out and about hippie style. He's also one of the bachelors in the game. I always enjoyed this. Oh, here you can see I feel 2 hearts about him. You don't see their affection all of the time. You have to find their diary, as it's called, hidden in their rooms. In this game, though, you can also look at the affection meter in the menu. So it's more like for old school people who want to look at the diary instead of going through the menu. So I have Cecilia, which was always the girl I married in the original game. I always liked her, and I'm gravitating more towards Molly, the party girl from the city. Nami, of course, is also a nice one. I also have her pretty high, but I decided not to marry her, at least not in this playthrough. And Lumina, right here. I always forget she's there, because I never played the PS2 version, and she was never on my radar as a marriage candidate. She's also the youngest. She's 18 now, and I think Molly, she's closer to my actual age. I think she's 32 in this game. So they're all actually different ages. I think Cecilia is 20 and Nami is something like 25 or something. So they're all different ages, have different personalities. And that's pretty nice for like an older player like me. I can relate a lot more to some of the characters in the game more than the younger one. Like Lumina, I mean, she's cute and all, but not my type of girl. Maybe if I marry her and get to know her a bit better in the next playthrough. I actually plan on finishing this game this time. I want to play through all the years, finish all the chapters, something I never did in the GameCube version because there it was quite long. Like one chapter, there are 6 or 10 chapters or something. I think 10 chapters. And one chapter could take multiple years to finish. So they are still outside, my cute little animals. So let's get all of them back in. There's also a bit of the simulation style. For example, a cow, and unlike the original, it will give milk like all of the time. In the original, you had to get it pregnant and have a calf for the cow to give milk again. That's not a thing in this version. It will always give milk, but it gives more milk when you have a so after pregnancy. So you want to impregnate your cows regularly if you want to get the full benefit from it. The farming has been overhauled. It's no longer a chore. It was pretty undercooked in the original. Here, for example, it flips over to the next day. It's midnight now. Oh, and you can see the crops have changed. So you can water things just by pressing the button. Your character will automatically move to the next square if you have something planted there, of course. So watering your plants and all of that is a lot better. You can have trees as well. I planted those on the less fertile grounds. So here they are, just standing around. You don't have to water them. Make sure there's enough room around them, so they need a 3x3 space to grow. So plant them like this, and it should all go swell in the end. You have a dog, you can teach him tricks, unlike the original. I'm not sure if that was in the special edition. So let's save the game, sleep, and I think that's it for the first impression I can give you of this game. If you want to see a bit more gameplay, I can do another one, showing you through everything I've done in the game so far. The dream sequences have nice little pictures in them, unlike the original, which always had like the, I don't know, cloudy picture on there, which didn't quite work in the 480p version I showed in my video. So we are back in the morning. All my animals are still asleep, so you want to wake them up later. You don't want to interact with them right at the beginning of the day, because they are asleep and they will not like you for it. I built the pond in the hope that the ducks will arrive soon. I'm not sure if it has to be year 1 or so, or year 2, because I remember they come in the summer if you have a pond. So maybe I have to wait until the beginning of next summer to do that. So anyway, it's quite a nice remake. I'm pleasantly surprised. I was skeptical with the new art design. I don't like the more realistically proportioned character. I like the big chibi heads of the original game, but you get used to it. And unlike the Friends of Mineral Town remake, there are no character models that are completely unfit for it all. Because when the Friends of Mineral Town remake, they were all a bit more realistic, and then you had people like the mayor, who was completely unrealistic. In this game, you still have a weird mix of realistically proportioned characters and the more caricature style of the original, but that's details we can look at when I do another video about it. So, I hope you had a nice little impression of this game, and I see you in the next video. Oh, it's quite a long video, so thanks for watching until the end. See you next time.